Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 7035 Southwest Tierra Del Mar Drive here in Beaverton. We're located at the left side of the home right by the gas meter. We have a 4-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. Here we go. Line transitions here at 13 feet over to, this looks like 6-inch concrete pipe. Hey, here at 18 feet, this appears to be the terminus of the line. It looks like there's an easement main lateral running up and down the fence line here, most likely. So we'll locate the camera head, see where it's at. Hey, I located the camera head here. The line just basically does a straight shot. It does a really hard dive, but it's just right here, almost underneath the fence line. But essentially going straight out. It's 18 feet out because it does such a hard dive at the very beginning. It drops down almost probably 6 feet or so or more. And because of the trees here, I'm trying to look real carefully to make sure we don't have any roots coming into this transition joint here. I see a little bit of toilet paper kind of scattered on the walls there, but I do not see any obvious root strands poking out underneath any of it. So that appears just to be toilet paper. How or why it got stuck on the sidewalls like that, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if there was at some point kind of a backup or something that got it up there, but anyway, I don't see any roots coming out from that joint there. This is the bottom of the drop here. It does quite the dive. Yeah, that's more than that. That's almost an 8-foot vertical drop there down. So anyway, it's 18 feet out. It's deceiving because it's only in as far as feet from the cleanout goes. I located the camera only about 6 or 7 feet from the cleanout. Now the one spot in here that I don't love the way it looks is this joint right here. The line is still functioning here. What I can't tell is if there's still a fern coat securely around the joint that's keeping it sealed off from the ground. So if it is open to the ground, you're open to the potential of roots getting in there, as well as that continuing to settle because of hydro erosion. If it's escaping the line, there's a lot of reasons why that's not good if that's open to the ground. So at this point here, as far as getting debris from point A to point B, it does not. There's a little piece of toilet paper caught on it there, but for the most part, all the debris is shooting over this point without any issue. But if that continues to settle or is allowing water to escape there, this is probably going to get worse. So I'm going to try and locate it here. I do recommend repairing that joint. Aside from that, the rest of the line is in good shape. We're going to reverse direction here in a moment too, and we'll go back into the house. Located the camera head Where the spot is at right here is just barely straddling the edge of the concrete walkway, and I'll show it with my camera when I reel out. But anyway, it's right here, less than a foot from the clean out, as far as on the top of the ground goes. I'm picking the camera up there at about 3 feet deep. I do recommend repairing that joint. It's not one that necessarily needs to be fixed right this second. It's not, putting the line at risk right now of causing a backup or anything of that nature. But it's one of those that should get repaired in the event that it's open to the ground. That can be a slow but sure process that can cause some problems, especially this close to the home. If that is losing water, it's more than likely, it could actually drain back towards the house. I don't know if that's actually happening or not. We just don't get a view of the joint that way. If we came backwards, we might be able to see something, but anyway. Now we're heading back towards or into the home. A little bit of standing water here in the line. I'm not sure what we're hitting here. This might just be a big old belly in the pipe. That would appear so. So right here at about 19 feet or so in, coming back towards us, we have a lot of standing water in the pipe. There's at least an inch there. The water level's over the camera ones, and I think it's probably closer to 2 inches. But with the water in the way of the camera's view here, it's hard to see what's going on exactly. There's a lot of junk built up in the pipe there, though. Anyway, I'm going to try and locate this. This is going to be inside the house. You located the camera head successfully. We're about smack dab in the middle of the garage, underneath the floor, obviously. Alright, we are currently underneath the garage floor, and I've had to push the camera. Ooh. Yeah, I don't like that. Just a second here. Okay, so this is interesting here. We have water that's actually pouring out through it, or at least it was there for a second. Where did that go? This looks like we have water actually coming out of the pipe joint here. Unless it's coming from... That's the view I'm getting right there. That looks like we've got water actually coming out of the joint. I don't see it coming from... I'll have to look closely here, but... If you go over the top of that... I'm not seeing water flow. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking out loud here. I'm not seeing that water flowing down from anywhere else other than right out of that joint. Well, as best I can tell here, sorry I'm doing a bunch of talking, I can't see that well off to the left side of the screen to see if it's coming down from the sidewall, because there is something tying in straight above where the camera's at, but I just don't see any water coming down from up top there, or coming down the sidewall, skirting down there, and then flowing in. It really looks like we've got water pouring out of that pipe joint. So anyway, we still have a belly here, so it's kind of hopefully you can fix two birds with one stone in this situation. So I located the camera head right here, just over the top of the belly. This is where my first marking is. It's under the garage floor, about 1 foot 3 inches deep. That is marked with a duct tape X, about a few feet from the rear wall of the garage. Yes, we have another belly here. That I'm running my camera into is the back of the line, or at least as far out as I'm able to get. I'm hitting a clean out. But right here at 30 feet and extending out about 4 feet or so, we do have a belly here with about a ½ inch or so of standing water. Okay, so this spot is located inside the home, inside the crawl space, about smack dab underneath the kitchen. It's about a 4 foot section here with standing water in it. I can't tell if there's anything routing through that area, but you're obviously getting junk diverted into it. So I do recommend it be repaired. And that's from 30 feet to 34 feet. I'm not going to do any markings there or anything. The plumber just needs to crawl inside there and basically correct the last 4 feet there, or the 4 feet leading away from that rear clean out inside the crawl. And again, this is right in the underneath the kitchen and dining room area. You can see what's going on there. My camera just came through a massive amount of debris. It's almost a complete blockage. I highly recommend this be repaired because that's just going to keep reoccurring. You can drain clean it, but it's going to come right back. Again, our belly starts here right around about 8.5, 9 feet back toward the home from the cleanup. Now, I'm going to go ahead and reel the camera out here. I have an X at either end of the repair. There is a 90-degree turn here. So anyway, just watch out for that. You may have to relocate when doing the repair. I put some duct tape markings down on the floor. I'm getting 1 foot 3 inches deep at either end. And again, where I located at the, I guess, the end of the belly, we're going back into the home there. It's a little confusing to talk about, but at around 20 feet, that is just past the belly where we thought we saw possible water coming through the joint there. So anyway, that's where I would recommend opening the ground up and working your way back. So from 8 feet out to 20 feet, and that's going back towards or into the home, I recommend repairing under the floor. I also recommend from 34 feet to be repaired. That's underneath the crawl space. That's also has belly, and then right outside here, on the outside of the home, we have this spot right here, right next to the concrete. That's where we have that offset joint. Now, all three of those I recommend taking care of. The one underneath the floor in the garage is absolutely the most significant. It's kind of waiting to back up currently. That's why I'm pulling my camera out right now. My camera could help clog the line up. So, and I do recommend a rescope after any repair work's done to ensure it was all done correctly.